Hello, and welcome to Knights of the Night Actual Play Podcast. This Dresden Files Delivery was written and run by your GM, Tom. And now, please enjoy episode 74, titled Capeesh? Before we get started on the next segment, next part of our episode, we have a little bit of feedback from our KOTMpodcast.com website. This is our actual blog in which people posted some comments. Two of them. The first one was on episode 72, Ghostly Visions. This comment was from Barion. He said, "Hi guys, since you were talking about trying out different systems and about fantasy role-playing and such, I'd like to suggest a favorite RPG of mine, Burning Wheel. It's somewhere between a classic old-school fantasy game, although without the tired class and level mechanics, and World of Darkness, Dresden Files RPG storytelling. P.S. I really like the podcast, and since the Dresden Files game started, I'm actually able to tell the voices apart. No offense, but I still have very little idea who did what in the Hunter campaign, even after repeated listening. Even if I still can't tell each character by their voice alone, which is kind of strange and humorous, because during the Hunter campaign we had Bob and Ryan, which are nephews, as opposed to John and Thomas, which are my sons, and my voice and John's sound somewhat similar.
Do you want them to know
Yeah, that's fine.
So I can call you Dad now?
You can call me Dad if you want. And, of course, Scott and I are brothers, so a lot of us are related, and it's amazing that anybody could pick out the difference, because on the phone, sometimes my wife can't tell the difference.
Right, and Hunter had Greg.
Greg has a distinctive voice.
He does. But he said he couldn't tell some of who was going after him. Mike,
I see what you mean.
Greg, yourself.
Bob and Ryan, and
right.
Bob's voice, Bob played Shu, and his voice is rather distinctive. So I would have thought the opposite, that people would have more trouble with the Dresden Files story because some of our voices are similar.
Right.
And I'm sure there are people out there that do have trouble.
Just not anyone named Barion.
Not people named Barion, no.
And we've not tried the Burning Wheel, but...
I have Burning Wheel. I own it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the new one. I think it was Gold Edition that just came out recently. And I read a lot of the rules, and I like it. I like the concept of it.
It's incredibly nitty-gritty.
It is. It's crunchy, and it's got a lot of...
I didn't think it was at first either, but I read it today, and it is really crunchy.
It's got a lot of bookkeeping. Let's say you do something to go up in that particular skill of what you're doing. You have to succeed so many times at such a level. You have to fail so many times. And the player keeps track of all this. And once you do, then you're allowed to advance. Which makes sense. I mean, if you think about it, in D&D, you go up a level, and all of a sudden you get better at horseback riding when you did absolutely no horseback riding in the adventure. It just...
Right. Doesn't make any sense. Right.
Doesn't make any sense. This system is much more realistic, and it makes sense, but it's a lot more bookkeeping and granular.
We don't even keep track of ammo counters.
No, we don't usually. But that's not to say that it wouldn't work, because there's always ways that you can play a game. That particular mechanic, I think you get used to doing once you do it, and it would have characters growing in a realistic way, and you can also play the other mechanics in the game in different ways to get the type of game you want to play. So it's not a bad suggestion.
Mm-hmm, not at all.
But we also have fans kind of asking when we're going to the World of Darkness, and I think that's probably where we're going to go to next after we get done with Dresden. I mean, that's pretty much
I'm definitely aching to get back behind the screen and put the second story into effect of this arc.
Which is funny, because I was speaking to Merkty on Facebook, just via chat. And anybody who wants to, if you're on Facebook, you can like the Knights of the Night, and that usually ends up with me trying to add you as a friend, Tom. And if I'm there, feel free to send me any questions. And we got into a lengthy conversation of World of Darkness and what he likes about that as opposed to Dresden. He's listening. He still enjoys the show. Mm-hmm. He likes World of Darkness more than... just because he likes the darker flavor.
Right. That's a good way to say it, because everyone likes different flavors.
Right.
And World of Darkness is definitely a little more of a darker
and
flavor.
See, part of the thing with Dresden is, I don't think you guys are ever in a situation where you think it's totally hopeless and you're going to die. That you are vastly outpowered by the enemy.
Got pretty close when a troll and two wizards came in, and one was a powerful vampire. I mean,
if they had fought, they probably would have died. Hasn't been released yet. But, no, it's a perfectly valid point. But I'm saying a lot of times in World of Darkness, it's just the overall feeling is we are so in over our head all the time.
It is a different flavor. I think it just, you feel your mortality a little bit more, maybe in World World of Darkness.
It's hard to kill someone in Dresden.
Yeah, right. It really is. If you've got a few fate points in your back pocket, you're probably not going to die. And even if you didn't, you could probably get away before someone was able to give you all the consequences you need to die.
Conceding makes you
whereas World of Darkness, you lose all your health and you go unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
You're helpless.
Right.
Someone can walk up and slit your throat. I mean, it's that easy to die. So, I think it's mechanically different, certainly. And then
atmosphere overall.
Atmospheric, a little bit darker as well. So I'd have to agree with the flavor's darker. And if people like that, they're going to like World of Darkness. If they like a lighter flavor, then they're going to like the
I think in general, as a GM, you're a darker GM as well.
I was going to say, it would be influenced by both group and GM.
Yeah, I think I like to tell a little different of a story, but hopefully it's not too dark for people. But we didn't get too many complaints that particular story was too dark.
No, plus I think both of the systems have different mechanics that fit well with both of the GMs. I, as a GM, tend to wing more and do less planning, and that is almost crucial in Dresden because you can't.
Right.
You can't plan with as much power as the players have to go in any direction that they truly want to. It requires a GM that doesn't really plan far ahead, and Scott tends to plan out his stories a little farther. Still gives you the option to go any way you want to go, but he likes it all planned out.
I build a framework and then let the players work within that. And if they burst out, then I just build another framework around that. That's how I GM and I try to let them decide the story, but I always have a little bit more information in my back pocket than your dad does, probably.
I'm a winger.
Mm-hmm.
The second part is the episode 73, which is a comment from Endigo. Hey, the story is really starting to unveil. I love it. And would you tell Bob, in parentheses, Chew, his biggest fan is awaiting his return? And we definitely will pass that on to Bob. Bob, as we've mentioned previously, had a baby girl. Also, his wife was working nights, which was really screwing up his schedule as far as socially. But his wife is on days, the baby's getting bigger, and Bob's talking about returning.
Yeah, we hope to have him for the World of Darkness, the second adventure, second story that we're going to be telling. All indications are that Bob will be returning. I had an email exchange with him just last week talking about that. So excited to have Chew back.
One last comment, that was from our rpgcrosstalk.webs.com forum. Also, it was talking about episode 73 of the delivery series called Preparation. And this was from PAIP. I'll let Scott read it because it refers mostly to his character, London.
Oh, you don't want to do this one with Mike here?
I did think about it, but Mike's not here today, so...
All right. Great. This is from PAIP. Great stuff. I can't wait for the next one. Not least to get the image of London dressed in a monogrammed bathrobe, a big fluffy towel wrapped around his hair, perched on the edge of the sofa delicately sipping champagne, while a big tough Warden feels ever more uncomfortable. And now I'm seeing the whole male grooming products line. Sear by London Deals. Put a little magic in your life. And in case you think I'm just an unreconstructed Scott teaser, I too am looking forward to his next World of Darkness story, supported by your mad subliminal sound effect skills. That would be for Tom. Not that you guys should try to hurry to finish this story. As a fan of the Dresden books, I wasn't sure how this system would appeal. But you've taken this in a really intriguing direction, and I'll stay till the end. Best, PAIP. Yeah. Thank you so much for the feedback. We certainly appreciate that.
I did tell Mike about this. Unfortunately, Mike wasn't able to make it tonight. He's in the episode,
right?
But this is, pre-recorded, and he's not here tonight. And he actually had a comment about the music I used in the background when you guys were in the hotel room preparing to track his mentor, William Donovan. You said that you put on some classical music, and I was looking for something that was low-key and in the background.
Right.
So I chose Acapella. It's a very peaceful and quiet song that is often used in weddings, which Mike thought it was
rather...
It added fuel to the vibe that was going on in there. Now,
the only one that had...
also, yes.
I just want to say, the only one who had the homoerotic
was
vibe was Mike.
I know, he actually mentioned something about, we're going to pass by the shower scene. I'm not sure if I left it in or not, but really, Mike?
That just because my guy likes exquisite things and has taste does not mean that, he was
interested
in showering with the Warden. But, for what it's worth, though, it was a funny scene, and it was a lot of fun playing it.
Very.
And we, too, look forward to the return of the World of Darkness storyline. So, coming up.
And with that, we will go on to the adventure. I'm Tom, running a Dresden Files game. The name of the particular scenario is Delivery. The players starting on my left are
Thomas playing Maxwell Edison, the undercover FBI agent.
John playing Roberto Martinez, Guardian of Cleveland, powered by a fallen angel.
Scott playing London Deals, amoral seer to the supernatural.
I am Jim playing Edmund Shadowski, private investigator and New World Black Court vamp.
I'm Mike playing Allan Montgomery, a warden come back to clean up the city of Cleveland.
We're talking epic.
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 Wow. Yikes.
Is that normally?
No.
Okay.
That is
I think
indeed wherever he is.
It's hard to find.
Either he or someone else, or
What am I
environment in and making it incredibly.
You don't roll to beat complexity.
Is he aware of...
Chart, well, not off the chart, but close. Difficult.
Is London aware of that? Like, can he detect when something is being concealed from him?
Or focus items?
Since he has his power to find things, and he has a reasonable expectation of being able to find things because he has a history of it, when he can't find things...
When he starts researching the spell, and this is a pretty straightforward spell, find someone, right?
Right.
He starts to dump power into it, and it's just sucking energy like mad, and it's like searching and he can't lock in.
Help him throw some juice into his battery.
I don't need any juice. I'm fine.
And it comes down
I've
to
found harder things than that.
You've committed to do this,
Sure.
but it's much more difficult than you thought it would be.
Right.
The difficulty is epic.
How to increase his lore to reach that?
Yes, there's a number of different ways you can do that.
As long as you tell him after this, go ahead.
Let's discuss that first so that he can do it and determine how he's going to do it. There's a number of different ways that you can increase.
You've got to be 3 higher than you are to be ready to cast this. Your lore is at great, and you need to reach epic. Now, this is the preparation phase. You don't roll for that. Okay. There are ways you can increase it, but they're like story-wise and...
Okay, so one of them would be a focus item.
Well, definitely, if you have it for...
He hasn't made one yet.
I haven't made one, but I can make one up.
Well,
you have an empty slot in your character, you mean?
When you pick rituals, you earn a focus item. It's something your character uses in his magic to make him be able to cast more complex spells, to be able to let him control it better, or to be able to put more power into it. One of those things. Since you've only got divination, you can only make it for divination. If you had more skills, you would have to focus on what it does. Right now, you're doing complexity, lore.
Lore, okay.
Since yours is at 4,
I can get it up to 5.
You need to get it to epic.
Well, I can get it to 5 with a focus item that I'm allowed to have because I have 1 divination. I've taken.
I'm fine with that. That is the essence of your character.
Sure.
Perhaps you have a old compass or fob or some kind of thing that you
track it.
Something involving direction, I would imagine.
Yeah, you would use something like an old compass, and you would align his hair on the needle of the compass.
I'm going to go with my father's compass. It has a broken face on it. It doesn't have any glass at all in it, so it allows me to be able to place things on it and use it as part of it.
And then you tie that in.
And this does not get destroyed when the spell gets cast.
No, it doesn't. It's your item, so it gives you the +1. And it points towards whatever it is you're searching, and you search to narrow it down.
Sure. And then, is that the only way I have, besides the fate points, to raise?
You can invoke your aspects, use fate points to do that.
Fate point, right.
And it adds 2 shifts to the deficit. You can make a declaration in which you have a mini scene where you do something like that shower you did might take time from the game, but it gives you a +1.
Okay.
If it gives you a +2 toward getting ready, so you've already done that, maybe you're done. You can accept or inflict consequences. You can kill a chicken as a blood right. You can also bleed yourself.
I will eat some sushi. Does that count? It's uncooked.
Did you kill the fish yourself?
I think it has to be alive at the time.
I see.
For every scene you can participate in during a session and choose to skip in favor of preparing your spell, gain 1 shift.
So how many shifts do you need?
2.
After the compass. And if you say that I spend time really focusing on...
Yeah, I would say your entire ritual of preparing yourself would be sufficient to that +2.
It would be a declaration, and you would have to roll his discipline to control himself to get him down to that level where he's ready to cast, I would suppose, to control his emotions.
Okay, what does my discipline have to be to control myself?
Great.
It was superb.
Okay.
You calm down quickly.
Oh, I do. I don't get ruffled. So I was able to get there through my own machinations?
Right.
All right.
He's rolling discipline to cast the spell.
Yeah. You say, I'm putting 3 power in, and if you go over that, you have to take more damage.
Why would I ever want to put more power into it?
If you were really in a hurry to contain, like, his boss in a circle.
Yeah, I'm not really in a hurry because he's buying food.
That doesn't sound like your kind of magic anyway.
Right. No, please.
But if
then roll your
it's
discipline to control that 3, and if you roll below 3, you would suffer some more mental damage.
Okay, so I roll discipline to do the spell, and I can't go below my conviction.
Right.
I think I understand. Do you want me to roll now or wait?
I'm saying each roll, though, could be an hour.
Okay.
So if you're taking it in small sips, it's going to take you an extended amount of time to achieve the...
Sure. I actually want to spend some time because of the fact that there's other things going on, and I probably don't want to formulate our plan for this evening. So if it takes 2 or 3 hours to just listen to some classical music, drink some wine, and pump some magic in here, I'm fine.
To be clear, I also put the privacy card outside the door on the hotel room, or protected.
Let's put this on hold, because that whole process gets you up and set. Now you're going to start to slowly put power into it. If anything comes along that requires you guys to bug out, or that might change radically.
It'll change
So,
to my conviction.
We go to Edmund. Goes walking across his office, heading towards the conference room where they have Mr. Robert stored. Along your way, one of your subordinates comes up and starts asking you a question. Do you wave them off? Or?
If he's like, excuse me for a second, then I talk to him. If he's like,
No, it's definitely like
this is really important.
yeah, it's just busy work.
No, I tell him I'm busy.
Yeah, he starts with, I filed the expense report with Shayna, and she was saying that there was a problem with me when I went out with a client. So he starts going on and on whining, and you brought him off and set up an appointment with Shayna. I'll talk to you later. Are you going alone into the conference room?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So you walk in, and at the table is sitting the gentleman I don't think you actually knew who he was. London did.
Yeah.
But he's obviously the big boss in the room. Behind him is standing 2 subordinates who look just like muscle. I mean, they're just big, beefy guys in well-tailored suits, but they don't look all that intelligent. And when you walk into the room, Mr. Mahoney stands up and says, Mr. Shadowski, I presume? He offers his hand to shake.
Mr. Mahoney, how can I help you?
Did you read your palm when you were talking to him?
I've got a lot of reports from people around town that you're the man as far as investigations go. And we're wondering, perhaps you can take on a job for us.
That's what we do.
All right.
How can I help you?
Well, we're looking for an individual, and we were hoping you could find him for me.
Everybody's looking for somebody these days.
True enough. He starts discussing fees with you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to try to...
Well, fees all depend upon who you're looking for and how hard they are to find and how much we got to go on when we start.
Well, unfortunately, it seems this individual has disappeared, and we'd like to know if you can find him. We're looking for Mr. Deals.
Mr. Deals.
London Deals? I believe you've had some association with him in the past.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Well, your contacts.
Roll your contact. Do I know him?
There's 2 roles I kind of want to make.
You going to deceive this man?
Yeah, maybe. One is empathy, reading people type of thing.
Okay.
Can I get a read as to BSing to me and he knows I'm with him and he wants to see if I tip my hand, or is he actually really looking for the guy and wants to,
So you may do an empathy against his, well, I'm not going to tell you what it is because it might be deceit, it might be discipline, and it could be report. His report is like closing down and giving a first impression type thing, so it could be any of those things.
Oh, what the heck am I doing? Empathy?
Empathy.
Which is... I bumped it down 1.
You missed me already, don't you, boss?
It's fair. Do I get any read on this guy at all?
No, he seems to like a closed book. Very stoic, very unemotional. He's got one hell of a poker face. Well, better than fair, anyways. He is returning the favor.
Do I roll a defense of some sort?
Why, no, I don't know who London Deals is at all.
Which would what be my social?
He's just looking for a reaction when he says the name.
Mm-hmm.
You can determine how you want to defend against that. Again, rapport is closing down, like setting forth a poker face and not letting them read you.
Which is what I would use if I could, or chit-chatting around it, or
Right.
If that's what I'm definitely.
Okay.
Have I seen him around?
His attack, as it were, is good.
And I got bumped down again. My defense is great.
All right. So you're both just facing off against each other and neither giving away any clues.
Yeah, I basically say we could look into it and see what we could find, and who and how would we let who know if we find out where he is, and is there, trying to see if is there a reason why you're looking for him? Is there anything I need to worry about? Is he in trouble? Is he law? Is he gonna want to shoot me if I find him? Is he missing and he's your employee? Or, trying to get a read as to what he would say.
You ask those questions, but you're trying to glean additional information. The answer he gives you back is that his boss had hired London for some information, and he has disappeared, and we just want to make sure he's okay. So, he has a defense up. You can try to poke through it.
With my rapport.
Okay.
With my fists. I am just not rolling these dice anymore. -2, which would bump it down to good.
Okay. Actually, is better than his roll.
Yeah.
His defense was only fair. So what you get is the answer that he gives you, but in addition to that, you glean that that isn't the real answer. They want to know his whereabouts, and it seems because they want him. It's much more than just concern.
Yeah.
So he starts to deal with you as price. I don't know if you're going to go try to gouge him a little bit because he is a representative of the Cleveland Clinic, which has a ton of money. But your prices are pretty substantial anyways. When you have different tiers, and you could charge them upper tier, lower tier. You've got like a baseline price, and then so much per day, and then expenses.
It's impossible, boss.
You're not there.
I would say that it's kind of, and Hector, that's kind of common knowledge that this guy's hard to find. And so I would have to bump it up a tier.
Okay.
Because he's not just your average everyday Joe.
He's going to argue that everybody knows London, and it should be something that would be relatively easy, at least for someone who claims to have as much skill as you. So, not a very successful role at trying to convince you to lower the price.
Now, am I doing cat and mouse deceit, which I don't even think I have, or am I still doing rapport?
It could be discipline, that you're sticking to your price, or I guess I could see rapport where you're. Yes, sorry.
Just a question: would there be like an aspect in this case of home field advantage? I mean, he is in his office.
Oh yeah, that's a good point because you've got all the tricks. You've dealt with high-powered clients before.
I think you'd have to tap that though first.
Right. So it's available to you, which is back to the window with the sun behind you shining in their eyes, hovering over them, looking impressive. Any of those things, let's call it home field advantage. You would be able to tap that for a point if you thought it was necessary.
I don't think it's necessary though. I mean, as far as wanting to gouge the clinic for more money, I don't know how that's going to help me out.
Right.
Any more than
you're setting a legitimate price. You're going top tier because, I don't know why. It's your choice. Maybe you don't want this at all. And
it's a tough client to find.
Yes.
Spite. It's like, I don't particularly want to find them. You're rich. Just give me all your money.
I know I'm not trying to jump into this moment here with Jim. I'm just trying to clarify. There's the normals of Cleveland, and then there's the underbelly of the supernatural crowd. If this guy from Cleveland Clinic, which is a above-board major institution in Cleveland, is talking about London and going to Edmund here, who are connected to that underbelly, is that like an assumption that...
Well, you didn't know him because you missed the contact roll, but it is known that the Cleveland is in the know. The leader.
Okay.
This is a personal assistant of Constance Rockefeller.
Okay.
Constance Rockefeller is definitely in the know and in the circle.
And you would think anybody who reports directly to her should be...
Is also in the know.
Right. I just wanted to make sure that, that...
I think I'm going to bump the skill to actually a lower skill because it makes more sense, which would be empathy, which would be reading people and social initiative, shoulder to client, just to seeing how he feels and trying to talk him into...
Just accepting the price for what it is.
I'm not rolling dice anymore today.
You are...
Wow, you're just not having the luck, huh?
Nice.
No, which bumped it down to fair. No, not bumped it down.
Maybe there's a little magic at work here.
Sorry. That's average. Yeah, you're right.
Measure the dice.
So he convinces you to drop it down one tier.
You are a non-profit organization.
Yes. Corporate discount,
We do have our health care.
This could be the start of a long-term relationship, I think, if I could come back with a good price.
He's digging on you.
Yeah. So the meeting wraps up unless you've got anything else you want to try to get from him.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would want to...
You could find all those people we want to kill.
So him and his men start to get up and walk out, and he's just about out the door when he stops and he turns and goes, "Oh, right, Mr. Shadowski. We heard that in the past you've had some dealings with both Bill Donovan and his younger friend, Allan Montgomery. And we've also heard rumors that Mr. Montgomery might be in town. If you do happen across him, you can tell him that we're looking to set up a meeting with him as well. If you happen to run across him."
Okay.
And with that, he exits the building. So, you go to Thistledown in Roberto's vehicle, and you pull up to the casino. This is where you've dealt with the bosses before.
Very well.
The casino's in its full glory. The neighborhood around it is utter crap. The houses are broken down, the neighborhood is seedy, disgusting, dirty. But the casinos themselves are all shiny and bright lights, even in the middle of the day. You walk into the building, it is crowded, a lot of noise, a lot of lights as aspects. And you head off to the office area where there are two rather large gentlemen standing in the way. One that you've dealt with before. His name is Jimmy. And he's like, we heard we were expecting you today, Roberto. You got your payment or what?
Is Max with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Thought you expected me to say something.
No, I was. Alright, yeah, I brought it. I think I left the spell chamber in the back of the truck. No need to cause any trouble here.
I did not leave.
And I do pull out the money. I think I have extra money then. I didn't count it out, but he gave me 500.
Yeah, you got about 400 extra.
Okay.
So
I need my wallet back.
Boss has got your wallet. He wanted to talk to you anyways. So you get him 5,000 or 5,400.
I'm waiting until I see the boss.
Oh, so you're telling Jimmy that he don't get the money?
Yeah, I need to see the boss. Gonna see him anyway. You don't know where the money goes. He gives it to the goons.
You said that
Getting a
loud.
little bit uppity.
I didn't say that out loud.
Well, he's asking for the money. You're telling him what? No, I'm giving it to the boss.
He needs to see me anyway. Yeah.
He kind of just stares you down for a bit.
Is this an intimidation contest?
Yeah, this is an intimidation a little bit.
I think you need to pay me.
His intimidation was great. He's like, who the
And
hell?
I discipline against this?
Yeah. It's like, who the hell? Ooh, that's not such a good roll.
You just peed down the window a little bit.
No, I got these rolling in
There's
these.
a little bit of
Her voice breaks a bit.
I got a good discipline. I didn't.
I ain't afraid of you, Jimmy.
I got a great discipline. I didn't think this would happen.
My voice broke a little more than I thought it would.
-1. No, so that would be a fair.
It's okay. It's just some
I got your back.
dude you could turn into a pile of pulp at any given
Throw a
time.
big point in it. Go ahead.
If you throw a fate point, you could break even and you just stare each other down for a while before he's like,
Okay. I have the debts of the Rinaldi family, not this guy.
Okay.
Moron.
That's usually trouble.
Alright, fine. Step in and see the boss. Bye. So, you're ushered into the boss, or Mr. Rinaldi, as he's known. And again, there's Big Goon standing in the background as he's sitting at a desk.
Just ushered in.
Yeah.
They did not check me for weapons.
They don't let you go in. You start walking forward and the guy puts up his hand and pushes you backwards.
Legal counsel.
Yeah, we usually kill legal counsel. Step back.
Legal counsel with a... Never mind.
Who comes with the gun?
This is not what I asked for.
You didn't tell me what you asked for. I was
You offered to
asking
come to help. Never mind.
He tries to step forward and Jimmy and the other guy are kind of pushing him back and telling him.
I'm not going to force him through.
I could
I'd have trouble
jump
not paying
over their
myself
heads.
for whatever reason.
You
That would
probably
be
could.
interesting.
It's,
All right, hold on.
It's in a hallway. You're in a building.
I'm going to try to intimidate the guy right back. Just make him let the guy through. Will that work?
Sure.
Yeah, I could rapport it up. Oh, no, I have really good presence.
No, I got a
Okay.
decent
Go ahead.
intimidation.
How's your decent?
Good.
Okay, yeah, that's about even.
Mine's not. Yeah, it was only fair.
Yeah, actually, his defense is fair as well. So once again, you just have a stare on.
Alright, I'm gonna try my presence. Does he count as a civilian? Or are you gonna say he's more of a criminal than anyone who would be willing to listen to someone
Gotta do that.
with an authoritative voice?
Gotta give him some love.
He's definitely a criminal in nature. What effect does that have?
Well, I have this stunt where if I'm talking to someone that I need to get out of their way, I'm
Oh,
used to being a
citizen-wise?
cop, so I'm all like, get the hell out of my way.
Yeah, he's not overly impressed with cops.
Yeah,
And you
so,
told him you're a counselor.
yeah, I have a presence of 1. This trial isn't going to work out very well.
Dude, just pay the man.
Situation is escalating.
Go pay that
He doesn't
man.
need to escalate.
I'll stay here.
I didn't want to pay the man to begin with.
No, I mean, go pay your debt.
So you walk in.
I'll be
he's,
out of here in case things go
Yeah.
bad.
he's out in the hallway.
One silencer goes in your head. He won't hear a thing.
Well, I guess I'll drive him back alone.
Hear the little pump followed by a
Give me
thud.
keys.
Leave the keys with me.
I'll totally be here when you get back, I swear.
So you step into the office, and Mr. Rinaldi's sitting behind a big cherry wood desk. Dark furniture everywhere.
Throw that through the wall.
Smoking a cigar. He's got 2 big thugs sitting over next to the little bar of alcohol. You know.
Oh,
Yeah.
You've got to have a girl on his lap.
Or at least maybe sitting in some kind of chair, reading a book, being all bored and attractive.
Roberto, Roberto, my friend, when we make a deal, you have to stick to the deal. You can't pay whenever you decide to pay. If this nonsense continues, you might not like the interest that is added to your account. We might start needing you to do us some favors. We understand?
Capeesh?
Capeesh.
You gotta say capeesh.
I suppose you have to say Capeesh.
You absolutely have to.
What's the matter, you?
This just sounds like dinner on Sunday nights around my house, but okay.
So, when next month comes along and the payment's due, we're not going to have to chase you down, right?
Right. I'm not going to try intimidating him again. I know that failed.
Yeah.
You couldn't even intimidate his bodyguard.
Dude, no more
Jimmy.
piddle stains on your jeans, all right?
I have a decent score.
You couldn't intimidate
You're out of your
Jimmy.
element. You're in their home territory.
That's it. I pull out the
Make
funds.
sure we don't have to chase you down next month.
And my wallet.
Sir, please.
I mean, I gotta pay you.
It's got my driver's license in it.
And pictures of my mom and dad. He looks over at one of the thugs, and it's one of the guys that you dealt with the other night.
Oh,
he
the guy.
throws it over.
He pissed himself.
He hits you in the chest with the... Now, get the hell out of my face.
Alright.
Man, I was so useful.
Yes, you were. Well done.
Yeah.
You guys
Unless
go
they
where
call me
afterwards? No, they don't call you back. You go out to the car unless you want to do
Did
something
they mention
else.
where their hotel was?
Where his hotel was?
I think
Yeah.
they knew from last.
Where Allan's hotel was?
I
I
never
think it was the
visited
key.
his.
We talked about it, that he was staying at the Keep.
I'm sorry,
Several times.
I'm just curious. Did Rinaldi acknowledge that the debt is now paid? In full?
It's not the full debt.
Oh, I
That was the
apologize.
monthly
I
payment.
apologize. Okay.
How much was the monthly payment?
$5,000.
Minimum monthly payment.
I believe it was $50,000 or somewhere in that amount.
This is a week?
No.
This month.
Oh, good.
I'm good for a month now.
Plant some pixie dust down so I can bust him in this thing. I'm not going to be paying $50,000 for that. Dirty warden. Bad warden.
Anything else after that? You leave the casino and
Yeah.
head off to...
I don't need
You
to
gamble
make
that
an
last
embarrassment of
400.
myself.
You got that 400, you can gamble.
You have to blow it to 20,000.
No.
You feel the lure of the tables.
Gambling's not a skill in this game.
Double your money. Risk free.
What's wrong with you people? No.
Double down.
Come on.
I'm just trying to help you fix your problem. You need money. I have a solution. Call a
I'm
casino.
probably hanging out in the office until I get a call from these guys saying
Okay.
we got something.
Your scene, Edmund, is done. Your scene, Roberto and Maxwell, is done. You head off to the key. You're waiting in your office, Edmund, until you get a call. You mentioned something last week that I think you forgot about this week. The sheet is right in front of you. You made some comments about it.
Where's
I don't want
ours?
to point it out, but I was wondering if, you've got some time to kill, so you think about it.
Two of them over
I
there.
don't know. Yeah, I don't think so.
Can I have the other one?
He was talking about that thing being a wall. I remember talking about the face and what the heck is that circle thing, pear thing, or whatever the heck it is behind it.
We did talk about the wall being something like a maze.
I thought it was a spectacle.
No, because there's that
Yeah, I know.
thing underneath it. I'm not sure what it is. And then Sarah Lemons with the lemon in there, and then we're trying to figure out what this dog face thing was or whatever in the background. I don't know what else we were talking about. There's space up here next to this Cindy name.
That does look like half of a pair of glasses.
It does to me. You also mentioned something about one of the faces. Something about the face, I thought.
You guys are trying to say, does this look like this?
Right, she looked like that with her profile. The eyes.
But I said, dude, it's just a nose.
It's fine for you guys to go back over it and see if anything jars your memory.
Apparently not.
And you're sitting in your office after dealing with all the daily trials and tribulations of running a big office. You just finished your meeting and you've got a couple hours to kill, and you're looking at your copy of the thing, and the number pops back in your mind, and you go, oh yeah, Ryan Nelson.
Who was, he was the,
We have a paranet connected them to the
I know he had
midwife.
something to do with the paranet, but I knew that the midwife had something to do with the paranet.
I thought she was part of the pyramid.
Yeah.
So you have the option to make that call right now, or you can wait till you get back with everybody and just
Make the call.
suggest it again.
Did we remember saying anything else, or did I remember anything we're talking about anything else besides him just seeing the head of the paranet, like what did he do for a living? Does he work at the West Side Market?
No,
I don't remember.
you didn't know him that well. You do remember the name, and the name
Yeah.
Ryan Nelson, regional leader of the Paranet. Ryan was not at the house, but Ryan helped Sarah find Leela.
Yeah, that's what I know. He had something to do with it. He helped.
That was
she was the intermediate person to find her. Oh, I'm definitely going to call him.
If Nelson's still alive, wasn't he in the room when all that shit went down?
No, he wasn't there.
He might know something of it, though.
No, but
I mean, he's the only living contact we have.
But I really wanted to call him, and if I spoke to him, see if I could find out where the midwife is and talk to her.
Okay. So you're sitting in your office. You've got a little bit of time to kill. You bring out, you pick up your phone. You dial his. It rings 4 times, and then it rolls over to voicemail. Please leave a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Yeah, and I leave a message. I tell him I need to talk to him. It's very important. Could be a matter of life and death. Please call me as soon as you can.
Back to London. Each roll taking an hour. The first hour, you want to pump how much magic into it?
A good amount.
That's nice, but how much? A good amount it is?
I roll my discipline, is that correct?
Yes.
Great.
Alright, so first hour passes. At that time, Roberto and Maxwell show up at the hotel. You get a call from the lobby from James saying that you have guests.
Okay.
I don't know if they knew the room number.
I don't.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I tell them. Does my phone even work right now?
Yeah.
All right.
It's outside the circle. You've got suite,
gotcha.
so it's big enough, and you guys are smart enough to make sure it wasn't inside the circle. So he tells them the room number, and they head up.
When they call up and say they're on their way up, I want to be by the door, keeping a lookout.
4 in the second amount?
Well, you start in the second hour when your secretary tells you that you have a call. She says it's Mr. Nelson.
Cool. Put him right through.
Okay.
Pick him up.
You can go ahead and make your roll, London.
A +3 from Superb.
Legendary! Good dice from now.
Wow. That's some serious over-rollage. Yeah, I would think that you... I mean, how many hours did you need? 3?
You can tell me.
Well, you would have
In
needed...
an epic attempt, it was 3 each hours. You need 3 and 20 minutes.
2 and change. A legendary roll on the second hour is enough to make up for that.
Oh, okay.
So your compass does spin. It's getting an incredibly weak signal. Spins a bit and then locks in and then spins again and then kind of goes back like it's having a hard time locking into the signal. But anytime that it stops, it's random spinning. It's pointing eastward.
And I can hold this while we...
Yes. You can take it outside the circle, you release the magic circle that's surrounding it, and your compass now imbued with the ability to do that. It will last until the setting of the sun and the beginning of the new day.
I explained to the 3 compatriots there that I have a signal. It's a bit weak, but I've got one. He's well cloaked. I suggest if we want to find him, we do it soon.
And which direction is he in?
We need to head east.
Is there anything in Bill's history east of Cleveland that would trigger a memory or a thought?
His office would be more north.
Yeah, the office is north.
This is definitely east, which you're talking...
The culture of Cleveland.
The whole east side.
Yeah, okay.
Clinic.
The clinic is one of them. University Circle is another. The
Coventry, Shaker.
That crazy place, okay.
Lakeside Cemetery, Little Italy, Murray Hill to the east.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Eastern Seaboard.
So, back to Edward. You pick up the phone and there's Mr. Shadowski. This guy's voice is just a mess. And I'm not going to talk that way the entire time. But it's breaking, it's shaking, it sounds horrible.
Who's this?
What's going on?
I told him I needed to speak to him in person immediately. I'm looking for somebody. I'm telling him I think there's a child in trouble. And I think you can help me find them.
It's not safe out there right now.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's bad.
I'm just remembering, this is a Baronet guy.
I don't think I want anybody to know where I am.
Turn the crowd.
I tell him it's really important that I try to get a hold of Leela Morris, and I don't need to know where you're at. I just really need to try to contact her.
Do you know anybody who's a good medium?
Yeah, I do.
Because that's what you need.
Can you tell me how this happened?
I don't want to be on the phone anymore. This isn't good. I'm gonna lose this phone.
I asked him before he goes if he knows who's chasing him, and do you know who's chasing him and why? Is there anything I can do to help trying to get some more information out of him? Is there a role to try to keep him on the phone to find out?
Yeah, most definitely, because he is really skittish. He is wanting.
Come on. Okay,
let me help you out. I'm having a bad day rolling today.
Wow, you need a new set of dice.
Yeah, I do.
That just sucks.
I bumped it down to good.
Actually, his defense was only fair, so you did succeed on keeping him on the phone a bit longer. And we're going to make this a social combat in which he has now, the difference was only 1, so he's taken 1 point of social damage, succumbing to your wishes.
That's the goal in mind.
Yeah.
If he does all this damage, he will now
Be able to
talk to him for a while.
get information from him.
Till whatever's hunting him actually kills him.
So, what was your question again? I'm sorry.
I want to know why he's scared and why who he's hiding from and what caused him to be.
Let me help you.
In that state, is there anything I can help? That's the thing. Is like, why are you this? Like, I'd like to help you out. Is there anything I can help you out? Let me know what happened and why you're scared.
It's the whole Sarah thing. It's out of control. It's insane. They're taking out anybody and everybody.
Yeah. And the other thing I'm trying to ask him is, does he know why Sarah was looking for Leela as a midwife and why she didn't just go to a hospital?
Okay, so that would be the next round of conflict. Better dice now.
Yeah, it's epic.
Whoa, yeah, that's considerably better. Yeah, his defense was fair. I mean, you just crushed him with your...
I'm an investigator. I can help you.
I could help you find the baby, and I think that's trying to get into. You need to help.
Yeah, he's concerned about the baby.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks that Janice is still alive, but he doesn't think that anybody can protect. They seem to be taking out and killing anybody who gets in their way. And they killed Sarah's regular doctor, and they seem to be trying to force her to go to the clinic, and she didn't want to. She knew the baby had powers, and that's why she wanted a midwife that had talent, and that's why he had to help her find. But then by doing so, he killed Leela. It's his own fault as much as anything, and he just barely escaped from him last time, and he doesn't want to deal with him again. So you took him out. You could make a suggestion, force him to meet with you, or you can force a couple questions from him now. But he's saying he's dumping this phone as soon as this conversation over, but he just can't seem to hang up because you keep drawing him back into the conversation.
Is there any way or any role that I can do or any skill I can do to help him hide himself once this is done? Tell him, because I know people and I'm noticed by everybody, I know someone who can help hide you or keep you hidden so you don't get picked off. That way if I need to find him again, I would know where he's at and they wouldn't.
If you give me a good contact roll, unless you could think of something else, maybe investigation, but then it would be a little higher, to know somebody that can help, kind of like witness protection, but in the know. Contacts would be good.
Yeah, I mean, I have investigation as superb, so if I can use that instead of contacts, that would be better.
But the roll would be much higher than good, because contacts, just knowing someone, is more to the point. I would say good for your contacts, superb for your investigation.
I would want to roll on an investigation then.
Feel free.
Which cancels it out, so it would be superb.
Okay. So you are aware of somewhere that you can hide him, and you think it would be well protected, and then try to explain it to him, but you're like, listen, I'm not going to describe it to you over the phone, and you're not going to wander in there without my help.
Yeah.
Type of thing. What is it you want to do? You want to get together with him?
Yeah, if I could take him to the place, I probably would. That way I can talk to him some more, and then actually put him where I need to go.
Right, but it's not, you don't want to describe the safe house over a phone and
yes.
stuff, so you want to meet him where first?
Honestly, I mean, out of character, I would.
Or there's Tower City, it's a public place that has a big fountain that's easy to find and lots of,
I can do that with soldiers.
Relatively secure. Public squares got a lot of places,
Sailors.
there's restaurants.
The more the witnesses, the less likely something's going to happen.
But the more likely it is to be spotted there, because there's such a heavy supernatural element there. Your offices?
Yeah. I don't know if you want to.
Well,
very well
I could barge in that.
I mean, to meet him there before you take him to the safe house. I mean, you've got a bunch of employees. It's a public building.
I'll pick him up at Playhouse Square.
Botanical Gardens. Go to someplace pretty.
Playhouse Square. You're setting up an appointment to meet him when?
That's the hard part, because I'm still waiting for a call back from these guys to let me know what's going on.
Yeah, you don't really know except for...
I would say immediately, just in case anybody is eavesdropping, it gives them less time to try to triangulate and grab them.
Okay, he says, Playhouse Square, Hannah Theater. I could be there in 10 minutes.
I'll be there in 10 minutes also.
All right, you hang it up, and your phone rings. Your secretary tells you have a call.
Oh, jeez.
It is Allan.
I pick it up. Allan will continue this conversation on my cell, and I click, and I talk to him as I'm going out to my car on my cell phone.
Okay.
And I fill you in, and you fill me in?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I want to be careful. I don't want to say names here. We have a lead. Where can I meet you?
I got a lead also, and I'm going to be busy with him for the next hour.
Tell you what, well, I'm 1 block away from you. Why don't you pick me up on your way to where you're going, and we'll go all together.
That's what we'll do.
Okay. So we'll end it there for tonight. Thanks for listening to Knights of the Night Actual Play Podcast. Visit kotnpodcast.com for more information on this and other adventures, where you will find character stats, photos, storytelling props, and even a forum for comments and suggestions. Or you could email us directly at feedback@kotnpodcast.com, or contact us via Twitter or leave a message on Facebook. All music for this podcast was created and performed by Zen Audiosmith. If you'd like custom professional music created for your podcast or business, please visit zenaudiosmith.com, and please join us next episode for more mystery and adventure. His intimidation was great. He's like, who the
And I
hell?
discipline against this?
Yeah. It's like, who the hell? Ooh, that's not such a good roll. You just peed down.
I got these rolling in
There's a
these.
little bit of
Your
stain.
voice breaks a bit.
I got a good discipline. I didn't.
I ain't afraid of you, Jimmy.
When the silencer goes in your head, he won't hear a thing.
Well, I guess I'll drive him back alone.
Hear the little pump followed by a thud.
Capeesh?
Capeesh.
You gotta say capeesh.
I suppose you have to say
You absolutely have to.
What's the matter, you?
This just sounds like dinner on Sunday nights around my house, so okay.